All right, good morning, traders. Today is, excuse me, June 9th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here in the BYOB Trading Room. Let's take a look at some charts. Hey, before I get started, I want to go over one thing. All right, Doug Campbell's having an open house today between 9:30 and 4. All right, so I will provide a registration link inside the description portion of the video. All right, so I just want to let you know he's having an open house from 9:30 to 4. You can stop in, swing by, and visit with Doug, see if you like what you see. All right, just want to let you know about that. All right, so good morning. Thanks for being here. Hey, thanks everybody out there in digital land, podcast land, cyber land. Appreciate all of the following, the subscribing, the kind words, the likes, the thumbs up, the hearts, all of it. I love all of it. It helps keep me inspired to keep going on and on. Thank you so much. All right, all of the Fab Five are in daily uptrends. Little different price action yesterday for QQQ. SPY, IWM, FNGB, and Diamond Dow all made higher lows and higher highs, closing over bullish traps over their 17 EMAs. QQQ made an inside day, closing over a bullish trap over the 17. Usually QQQ follows suit with FNGB. Not sure what happened, maybe restructuring the index. Not sure what happened there. SPY closed with 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute downtrend. Gold and silver both in daily uptrends. Gold made a lower low and a lower high, closing under a bullish trap, also under the 17 EMA. Silver made a new 12-year high. USO in a daily uptrend made a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. UNG started... no, not quite. Okay, I was going to say they started a new uptrend. They're having a breakout. They're still in their downtrend. Anyways, made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap over a flat 17 EMA. U.S. dollar index still in a downtrend. Hey, we like that. Not as a consumer, but as an investor day trader. Closed near the 99.21 area. SPY Max paying 598 with a put to call ratio of 1.66 puts. So that's 1 2/3 puts to each call that expires today. Could see a further put squeeze again today. We'll see what happens. All right, let's go take a look at some charts. We'll start off with SPY. And we'll pick it up on the 5-minute. Okay, you can see the pivot. You can see price action rises up to it, pulls back to this number. This is the 598.95 pivot. We get down underneath it and pull back to it, 598.95. Get underneath it and actually get on top of it and pull back and close right near the 598.95 number. All right, for max pain for today, I like 4 days till expiration Friday options. I like 11 days till expiration Friday options. You guys know I like the options that have a multiple of 5. So 600, 605, 610. They got more open interest. That's the reason. SPY, we have green erases red over 600.65. We have red erases green under 597.10. All right. I am looking for price action. I'm going to pick up a clean chart. That one will work. So we consolidated in this area right through, I'm just going to say right through there. And right through another one. Need one more. And right through there for the most part. Okay. So I'm looking for, and I think that was maybe a little bit lower. Maybe just, okay, so that was like about a $4 consolidation. I'm looking for a same $4 consolidation to exist, or maybe a $5 up here. Let me make sure I got this right. No, I don't want the 5 minute. Hold on. Okay. Okay, so we had consolidation from here to here. Okay. I thought that was bigger than that. About a $10 consolidation from 583 up to 593. Okay, $10 window of consolidation. So I'm looking for another $10 window of consolidation to exist from like 593 up to possibly 605. All right, so we consolidated through here and then broke out. So I'm looking for the same thing to happen, and you can see that consolidation lasted us from the 13th till the end of the month. So I'm looking again. I don't know how fast they're going to run through the consolidation pattern. Let's get this out of there. You don't need that. Another consolidation pattern to manifest and be created on top of this consolidation pattern. So I think they're probably going to run up to 604, 605. Maybe this is the ceiling. I don't know. But I'm expecting just a little bit higher. We'll find out today. And I'm looking for that to manifest over this consolidation. Because you guys know what I'm saying. When you get consolidation over prior consolidation, that's a bullish environment, okay? So we haven't got it yet, but let's face it, we've been in a bullish environment. Why wouldn't they do about the same thing again in the near future? So I'm thinking they're probably going to do that. We'll see what happens, all right? The president's been pretty nice with the volatility, with his tweets. That's been helping us out quite a bit. Love those tweets. They create a lot of volatility, which helps us make money. As day traders, we make lots of money when there's volatility. When there's no volatility, it's very hard for a day trader to make lots of money. We're looking for wide swings where we get 10-minute uptrends over VWAP, 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. So that as a day trader, we kind of welcome the volatility. As a swing trader, probably not so much. All right, let's go back and take a look at the chart. Pull back up on the 10. We already went through the consolidation. Again, I like my options, $5 to $15 out of the money. All right, they're a little bit cheaper. You're not going to get the performance from a 11 DTE, $15 out of the money as you would with a 0 DTE in the money, okay? With it in the money 0 DTE, you're going to get almost penny for penny performance. So the dollar moves a dollar, you're going to get a dollar movement in your option, okay? But I don't want that. I'm willing to give up a little bit of performance to take on a little bit less risk, all right? Because you notice if you look at the contracts, the 0 DTEs, okay, you're going to see, let's just pull them up here, and you're going to see if I can get price. Yeah, price. Let's look at the 601s. Okay, the 601s those would be out of the money because price is currently $5.99. Well, it was when we left off. You can see they're at $1.24. See how the in the money start to 600s, $1.68, not $5.99. 220. As you get out of the money, 605, well, they're only 27 cents. Okay, so I can go from 27 cents down to 0. Well, I'd rather be closer to 0 than I would to have to lose, $2.20. So that's why I picked the out of the money, because they tend to be a whole lot cheaper. And I'm willing to give up some of that performance to take on a little bit less risk, which allows me to have like a little bit bigger trade with that lower risk unit, okay? So, again, we got green erases red over 665, okay? I like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. that are breaking away from VWAP, all right, breaking up and away. I like 10-minute downtrends under VWAP, volume weighted average price, then that are breaking away and down from VWAP. So even if I get a 10-minute downtrend that manifests up here, okay, above the pivot, as soon as it crosses the pivot, that will probably be my entry. If we get a 10-minute downtrend over VWAP that exists up above here, we got a little range going on right here, so it's possible that price action manifests a 10-minute downtrend under VWAP up here. All right, I don't have to wait till it gets all the way down here to 597.10 to enter. Okay, that'd be another entry, but if it's already moving and going, I'm allowed to trade that if I choose to do so. Now, I'm in a bullish environment, all right? So my bullish uptrends are probably going to succeed more often than my bearish downtrends. All right? We are in an environment where we have a 2-hour uptrend inside of a daily uptrend that's inside of a monthly uptrend, and all of that is over the all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, so it's a unique environment. This is prime trading. Plus, we got an administration that likes to tweet and move the market 10 points or 20 points on a tweet. All right, so all of this is very productive for a day trader. All right, so that's what we're looking for, is those 10-minute uptrends or those 10-minute downtrends. Okay. That's what we're looking for. So you can see here on the 10-minute chart, okay, you can see the yellow line, that's the 3 EMA, underneath the white 8 EMA. So little 10-minute downtrend coming into the close right there. Not far enough under VWAP there, but 10-minute downtrend coming into the close on Friday. On a 2-hour chart, got a 2-hour uptrend. Okay, yellow 3 EMAs up on top of the 8 EMA here. So we got 2-hour uptrend, and you look at the daily chart. Oh yeah, you know it. Okay, daily uptrend. Look at the monthly chart. Okay, monthly uptrend right there. Look at the weekly chart. Okay, weekly chart is not technically in an uptrend, but you can look, and the 3 EMA is up above the 8 EMA here. Okay, so it may be technically in a downtrend, but hey, let's just face it, it's not moving down, it's moving up. All right, so it's about to challenge those all-time highs there on the weekly chart. Okay, so 10-minute downtrends under VWAP, 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. Now we like them running away from VWAP. We prefer the uptrends because we are in a bullish environment. The uptrends are more likely to produce wins that go further and produce more profits. All right, the downtrends are counter trend, and you have to be very cautious about where you choose your 10-minute downtrend. Okay, so be careful. 10-minute downtrends are likely to fail and not go as far. Okay, some will work, but they won't go as far as those 10-minute uptrends that are in this bullish environment. So try to stick with the long side. Not, there'll be some profit taking. All right, expect that. So there'll be some 10-minute downtrends in there. But you want to look for the ones that are clean and cutting away from VWAP to the downside. So there's SPY. That's the weekly chart. Let's visit the daily one more time, okay? And you can see on the daily chart, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap. That's bullish. Closing over the 17, also bullish. Closing up in quadrant 4. Yes, that's bullish too. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Yes, beautifully bullish there. Okay, this is the daily chart. Okay, so prices moving up, holding the higher ground. Okay, that is a perfect recipe for the bulls. All right, whenever you see that, that is important, very important. Okay, when you get product or security that moves up and they give it up, okay, that's just neutral. Okay, look at this. They move down and they give it up. That's just neutral. Okay, it's not bearish. They move down, they move it up. Okay, they came right back. All right, so that's just neutral. All right, now when price action moves down and they stay down, that's bearish. Okay, so on the flip side, all right, on the flip side of that, when price moves up and holds that higher ground, that's bullish. This is a bullish environment. Okay, so this is bullish. So I want those 10-minute uptrends. Okay, on the daily chart, I've got a 2-hour uptrend that's inside of a daily uptrend that's inside of, hey, let me just say, we got a weekly that's not moving down. We'll call it that. Okay, it's not an uptrend, but we'll call it a weekly that's not moving down inside of a monthly uptrend. Okay, so everything's looking good here. So I want those 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. I want to trade those. Those are the ones that I want. Okay, so there's SPY. All right, so that's the daily chart. We went over the monthly chart. We're in a bullish environment. Everything's looking good. All right, let's go take a look at QQQ. Okay, QQQ. All right, QQQ. Again, not as pretty as SPY, but not a bad day. Okay, got an inside day, lower high, higher low. A little bit different. Normally they give you the same candle, QQQ and SPY. A little bit different here. All right, QQQ. I don't know if that's a red flag. That's different. Haven't seen that in a long time. All right, technology is the leader of most rallies. So is it possible that this rally is done or is ready for a pullback? Could be. We'll see what happens. All right, inside day, closing over the trap. That's bullish. Over the 17, that's bullish. Over this gold uptrend line, that's bullish. Quadrant 4, yeah, you got it. It's bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP, yeah, you bet it's bullish. Okay, everything's looking good. Okay, 3 on top of the 8, yeah, definitely bullish. All right, QQQ, holding the higher ground, making higher lows and higher highs. SPY, QQQ, all of them making higher lows and higher highs. Those are uptrends. All right, higher lows and higher highs. Moving up, holding the higher ground. That's bullish. All right, so we'll see how far QQQ gets today. So there's daily chart of QQQ. Let's take a peek, okay, at the game plan. Okay, QQQ pivot, 530.35. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. I like on QQQ, same thing. I like 4 days till expiration, Friday options. I like 11 days till expiration, Friday options, all right? I like them on the increments of 5. So I like the 530s. I like the 535s. I like the 540s. I like the 525s. Okay, I like them on the increments of 5. They have more open interest, okay? I also like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. So I may have a 10-minute uptrend that manifests down here, okay, but it hasn't done the whole green erases red event yet, okay, because we have a green erases red entry over 531.65. But if I get that 10-minute uptrend that manifests down here, I will be willing to trade that, okay? Same as 10-minute downtrends over VWAP. If I get a 10-minute downtrend that manifests up here and it starts cutting back down through the pivot, I will be able to trade that to the downside. Okay, so I like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP, 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. Okay, bullish, red, green erases red over 531.65. Bearish, red erases green under 528.50. All right, so there's QQQ. Again, on the daily chart, you can see, again, we're up here in the bullish territory. Okay, let's take a look at FNGB. Okay, now we watch. This is not really a security or an index. It's actually an ETN, all right? It's a group of 10 securities. And those 10 securities happen to be probably 10 of the most heavily weighted inside of SPY and QQQ. And when they move as a pack, because they're so heavily weighted in the indexes, or actually in those two indexes, okay, they can drag the rest of the index with them. All right, the rest of the market can be moving down, but if those 10, when they move as a pack, if they move further north, chances are the index is going to go with those 10 securities, even though there's 90 other securities inside the QQQ, aka the NASDAQ 100, and there's 490 inside of the S&P 500, okay? Even though there's all of those extra stocks, securities, they're saying, those 10 are so heavily weighted that when they move as a pack, they will drag the whole index up with it. So that's why we watch FNGB. Okay, so by the way, so what do we got? We got a higher low, higher high. Okay, over the bullish trap. See the 3 on top of the 8. That's bullish. Over the rising 17. That's bullish. Okay, over the gold uptrend line. That's bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's bullish. Moving up, holding the higher ground, breaking out. That's bullish. Up in quadrant 4. That's bullish. Okay, making higher lows and higher highs. That's an uptrend. Okay, everything bullish on FNGB. Okay, it'll be bullish until it's not. Right now, it's still bullish. Still got an uptrend. Still got a rising 17. Same thing goes with the SPY. All right, so we're going to trade it until it's not bullish. All right, and then at that point, we'll evaluate what's going on. Are they going to consolidate up there? FNGB, that's bullish. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Diamond Dow in the upper third. That's bullish. Okay. Price action for Friday. Higher low, higher high. Closing over the bullish trap. That's bullish. Closing over this, I'll say melting up 17. That's bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's bullish. Over the uptrend line. Also bullish. Over the downtrend line. Yep, that's bullish. In the upper third, I said it once. That's bullish. Making higher lows and higher highs. That's an uptrend. Also considered bullish. All right, so Diamond Dow. Moving up, holding the higher ground, having a little breakout on Friday. Okay, that's bullish. Okay, let's take a look at IWM. All right, making higher lows and higher highs. That's bullish. Moving up, holding the higher ground, getting a little breakout on Friday. That's bullish. Closing with a higher low and a higher high over a bullish trap. That's bullish. Over the melting up 17. That's bullish. Over the uptrend line. Also bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Also bullish. Just not there yet. If it was in the upper third, I'd call it bullish. All right. But we are on the bullish side of neutrality. Okay. We're not in the lower 1/3 anymore. And we were like 5 weeks ago. Okay, so we're not bearish. We're not strong enough to be bullish yet. So we're just neutral. All right? But exhibiting a bullish environment. Okay, let's face it. Moving up, holding the higher ground is a bullish environment. Okay? Closing over the rising or the melting up 17 is a bullish environment. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Again, these are bullish environments. All right? It's bullish until it's not. Right now, we haven't crossed the 17, so there's no reason to be alarmed. Everything is looking good. Okay, so that's IWM. Let's look at the technicals. T2122. Friday's price action, which was the 6th. Okay, so we took a rocket ship out of the buyer's chop zone into the overbought zone. The bears threw us out, and we fought our way back in to close inside the overbought zone. Nice work, bulls. T21.23. Take a look. This is the 6th. Bullish gap up. Bullish gap ups that aren't filled by the bears, that's a bullish environment, okay? Anytime you see that, that's a bullish environment, all right? Make no mistake, okay? When you get this, that's bullish. When you get this, that's bullish. Especially when you get it and they consolidate for 3 days, all right, and not close the bullish gap, that's bullish. Here it is again and again, all right? Whenever you see that, see it here, and what did you get? More bullish price action. Bullish things like this, consolidation over prior consolidation. Again, that's another clue, all right? We get up in the morning and we look for the clues, all right? These are the clues we look for. We gapped up and the bears still haven't filled that bullish gap, all right? That's a bullish clue, okay? Another one, we did it again. Anytime price consolidates over prior consolidation, yeah, that's a bullish clue, okay? You can see price action kind of forming a consolidation box. Let's take those arrows off, okay? Up over prior consolidation. Look at all of this consolidation, okay? Consolidation or moving up over the prior consolidation is a bullish environment. Anytime you see price over the 200 SMA holding the higher ground up there, excuse me, that's a bullish environment. Don't ever underestimate the 200 SMA. That is a powerful moving average. You see that? Yeah, things are bullish. Price action up over a prior all-time high. That's bullish. Okay, so there's T21. Making higher lows. Okay, see there's a low. Make a higher low and higher highs. Yes, that's bullish. Okay, that's the 15-minute chart. Let's take a look at the 3-bar chart. All right, 3-bar chart for, take it off the daily, go back to the 3-bar. All right, 3-bar chart for Friday. 3 more green candle bars over the powerful 200 SMA. Okay, that's bullish. Over the prior all-time high, that's bullish. Consolidation over prior consolidation, that's bullish. Let's go way back here. Let's box out some consolidation. Okay, can you guys see all the candlesticks up here? Okay, that's consolidation over prior consolidation. Yeah, that's bullish right there. Okay, so that's bullish. You've got bullish gaps that aren't filled by the bears. That's bullish. That's bullish. Over the 200, that's bullish. Everything you're looking at, these are all clues to set you up, okay? So the 10-minute uptrends over the all-time high anchored VWAP in SPY QQQ are more likely to succeed, okay? That's why I'm looking for those. This is a unique environment. They're set to go further. They're set to make you more profits, all right? This is why I'm looking for those. All right, that's T21.23. 3-bar chart. So here is a high, and you can obviously see we made higher highs. See, we're up over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. Excuse me, prior all-time high, not anchored VWAP. So that we're high. There's a high. Made a higher high. So 3-bar charts in an uptrend, okay? Okay, daily chart is not in an uptrend, okay? So here's the daily chart. So here's the first high over the 17. Okay, so we got a little bit further to go. I hope we don't get tired before we get there. So we may need another rest once we get on top of the 200. We'll see what happens. All right, so we would have to, on the daily chart, daily chart is still in a downtrend because they have to take out this high in order to negate the downtrend. That's the first high over the 17. All right, so we still have to climb over these two, which we climbed over one, prior all-time highs. Climb over the flat 200. That might be a chore. Okay, all little speed bumps. But if we move slowly, all right, if we don't hit them fast, okay, we could slowly melt up over them, okay? Slowly. If we go fast at them, we're liable to bounce like a red rubber school ball and come all the way falling back to support. Okay, so there's T2123 daily chart. We still have not made the higher high. Here's the good news. Price is moving up and it's holding the higher ground. That's a bullish environment there. Just don't have the uptrend status yet. All right, let's go look at FNGB one more time. If we didn't look at it enough already, let's take a peek at it one more time. All right, so what do we got here? FNGB. Let's take a look at 6. This will be Friday's price action. Got bullish. Okay, little 4 martini lunch there. Some more buying. All right, and then they started 3 martini early weekend. All right, but we're moving up. Okay, even with all the martinis. Okay, we're moving up and we're holding the higher ground. Okay, look at the candles as a group. What are they telling you? Okay, they're making higher lows and they're making higher highs. See the high? See the low? See the high. Okay, so they're making higher lows and they're making higher highs. And they're moving up and they're holding the higher ground. Bullish environment. We're up over the 200 SMA. That's bullish. Up over the up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Also bullish. Okay? We're up over the uptrend line right here. See that? Up over that daily uptrend line. Also bullish. Is it possible that we pull back to the daily uptrend line? Yes. I would like a snap fast pullback to the daily uptrend line. That would be normal, okay? I would like a quick flash down and flash back. That's what I would like if we get it. I don't really want it, but if we get it, I hope it's fast so it bounces like a red rubber ball. Okay? That's what I want. If we're going to get it, if they just roll over and melt into it, they could go all the way through it. That's what we don't want. We want something like a tweet that causes price to snap and then bounce. All right? Goes fast and then bounces right back. Okay, so that's FNGB on the 15-minute chart. Let's take a look at a few of the sectors. Okay, we're going to start off with the XLE. All right, and we'll hit the daily chart. Start off with XLE. All right, XLE, still in an uptrend. Just not getting any love from the market, okay? Just not moving up. It's in an uptrend, but for the last 14 days, it's been moving down and over to the right, okay? It's just no love from the market, okay? It's caught underneath downtrend line 1, downtrend line 2, 12-month high anchored VWAP. I don't know if that's an all-time high anchored VWAP. No longer in the lower third, okay? So it's neutral, but it was just there the day before, okay? Closing over a bullish trap, closing over a bullish cross, okay? So that's bullish. Closing over the 17, that is bullish, okay? But just not exhibiting, signs of bullishness, moving down and moving over to the right. That's a bear flag, okay? Just not getting any, actually setting up what looks to be like a head and shoulders. That would be the head. That'd be right shoulder. This is left shoulder. We'll see what happens. Just no love from the market for the XLE right now. Okay? It's in an uptrend, here's the problem. It's just not moving up. So it's not ready yet. Not ready to go long anyways, okay? So there's XLE. Let's take a look at USO. And let's see if I get the spelling right. All right, USO putting some love out, getting some love. Finally got a higher low. Okay, got a higher low. And we got a higher high. See the high right here? We made a higher high. Closed underneath the downtrend line. Okay, that's still bearish. Closed underneath the 3-year high anchored VWAP. That's a post-COVID high. Okay, so that's neutral. We're knocking on the door. So that's neutral. Closing, coming back to this midpoint. That's bullish. Closing over the trap and over the 17. That's bullish. They've moved up. They've held the higher ground. Now they're getting a breakout. That is bullish. Just still neutral, all right? Because they're down here. They're not in the lower third, and they're not in the upper third. So they just started an uptrend, finally, after a long time, okay? And now they're just not in the upper third, not in the lower third, just still caught underneath that 3-year high anchored VWAP. That's what I'm saying. Things are powerful when you get all that price action, uptrends inside of uptrends over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's what makes it such a unique environment. You're not getting that here. Okay, this is getting bullish, all right, but it's not quite ready yet. You could probably day trade it, yes. Okay, not really ready for making higher lows. It's getting ready for a breakout. It could probably break out back up to this area up here. We'll see. All right. So it's getting ready, exhibiting some signs of bullishness finally. Okay. Let's take a look at UNG. All right. Not in the lower third. That's nice. That's neutral. We're up over this 12-month high anchored VWAP. That's neutral. Hey, let's face it. That's not a very high bar to set. This is the all-time high. Okay, this 12-month high over here, not a very high bar. They're over it. Okay, so they're neutral. You can see they're not in the lower third, so they're not bearish. They're not in the upper third, so that's not bullish. They are transitioning over the downtrend line. They are still stuck in a downtrend. Okay, they have to take out this high in order to negate the downtrend. Okay, that's the first high over the 17. Okay, so they got to pop that high on the $19, all right, in order to negate the downtrend. All right, they just transition over this downtrend line, but who's to say this doesn't swing out to here? We'll see what happens. We can swing it out to there. We're over the uptrend line. That's bullish. Okay, just still stuck in a downtrend. It's not ready yet. So no love from the UNG. All right, not yet. All right, it's getting ready. Okay, they haven't moved up in a long time. All right, so there's UNGs. Take a look at GLD. GLD having a little pullback, lower high, lower low, closing underneath the bullish trap and underneath the 17. Both of that is bearish. Okay, but we are up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. That's bullish. Okay, we're up over the gold uptrend line. That's bullish. We're up here in quadrant 4. That's bullish. We're moved up and held the higher ground. Okay, that's bullish. So gold is bullish. Just having a little pullback these last 2 days right here. That's still bullish up there. Okay, spent a lot of time up over that 17. Up in quadrant 4, that's bullish. Let's take a look at silver. Silver puts in a new 12-year high. Higher low, higher high. Over the trap, bullish. Over the Look at that rising 17, that's bullish. Over that 12-year high anchored VWAP, that's bullish. So new 12-year high for silver, all-time highs up around 48. So new 12-year high for silver, that's bullish and in an uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs. SMH. SMH up here in quadrant 4, it's bullish. Over the trap, over the 17, bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP, bullish. Over the downtrend line, bullish. Okay, up here in the upper third, again, that's bullish. Moved up, held the higher ground, now breaking out. bullish, all right? And uptrend, higher low, higher high. Okay, let's take a look at XLK. Okay, higher low, higher high, that's bullish. Quadrant 4, that's bullish. Over the trap, bullish. Over the rising 17, bullish. Over the uptrend line, bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP in striking distance from the all-time high. Notice. Okay, right there, we are set to make new all-time highs. We'll see what happens. Okay, XLK, bullish. XLF. All right, XLF, quadrant 4, bullish. Over the all-time high anchored VWAP, bullish. Over the bullish trap, bullish. Over the flat 17, bullish. Up here in quadrant 4, bullish. Moving up, holding the higher ground. It's bullish. Okay, making higher lows and higher highs. That's bullish. XLF, bullish, uptrend. Here's our problem child. Okay, transports. Okay, transports putting in a bull flag. Okay, it's just kind of long for the bull flag. Okay, they're in an uptrend. Actually, they're in a downtrend because they made a lower low right here. The transports are in a downtrend. If they pop over that high right there, they'll be in an uptrend. Right there. Okay, they're close. No cigar yet. Maybe today. Okay, IYT, downtrend. Okay, closing over the bullish trap or over the bullish cross, that's bullish. Over the 17 is bullish. Over the uptrend line is bullish. Still caught underneath this all-time high anchored VWAP. No longer in the lower third, not in the upper third, so just neutral. All right, and in a downtrend. All right, so we need them to negate the downtrend and get on top of the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay, they've been working on it for, well, a little over 10 days here, okay? They just can't seem to get it done. But here's the good news. They haven't left the area. Okay, so it's still bullish. They're still holding higher ground. I don't like the consolidation under prior consolidation. Okay, just like consolidation over bullish consolidation, consolidation over prior consolidation is bullish. Got those reversed for a second there. Okay, consolidation, under prior consolidation, that's bearish. Okay, so you can see here's some consolidation for a little over a week, and we're under that consolidation. That's why I say this is the problem child. If we had all three of those, XLK, IYT, XLF, all up there in the upper third, that could be the recipe for a robust rally. Right now, we just don't have the transports. And transports tell us that products are getting sold off the shelves, and the shelves are needing to be restocked. Okay? Projects are going on around the country, and we need concrete and steel there to build them. Whether it's a bridge, whether it's SpaceX, doesn't matter what it is, okay? Projects around the country are being done. That's a juiced up economy, all right? Not getting that love right now, but things are looking good in the fact that we are moving up and we're holding higher ground right now. Okay? We're holding higher ground, but not. I don't like this bearish consolidation underneath prior consolidation. Okay? So that's what we got. Okay? You want to see crane operators and crane materials getting moved to a location. You want to see goods and services being transported around the globe. Okay? Those are signs of bullish economy. And the transports are trying to show us that. They're just not there yet. Okay? It's good, okay, but not robust. Okay? Robust would be over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Okay? So that's IYT. Take a look at the economic package, and we'll wrap this up. All right. Let's start with Max Payne. Okay, max pain is 598. That's for the SPY calls and puts that expire today. Okay, they expire at 4:15. Index options expire at 4:15. Security options expire at 4. Okay, 598. Get 1 and 2/3 puts for each call. Possible put squeeze on the table. Okay, and that's for max pain for today. Economic calendar. What do we got for today? Wholesale inventories, 10 o'clock. Light day today. Tuesday. I hope I got the right week. I guess so. I do. Tuesday, NFIB Small Business Optimism Index, 6 o'clock in the morning. They're going to wake up early to release that one. Other than that, light day. So whatever's going on Monday, and Tuesday, is probably going to be a continuation of Friday because there's no economic data there. We'll have to take a look at the earnings report, all right, to see what's coming up on that. CPI, that's the headliner this week. 8:30 on Wednesday. Petroleum report at 10:30. And you know what? We'll visit Thursday and Friday later on. Obviously, this is the headliner is CPI at 8:30 on Wednesday. That's the main event this week so far. All right, let's take a look at earnings. All right, on earnings, I got to say, I see familiar names, but nothing here that's going to have the market cap to move the markets, okay? Just familiar names. Okay? 10 looks like our earnings season's getting wrapped up. Again, more familiar names, nothing that's going to move the markets. That was Tuesday. Oracle, Wednesday, half a trillion, all right, on Wednesday evening. Okay, that'd be the headliner for the earnings so far. Wednesday evening after CPI comes out Wednesday morning. Thursday, what do we got? Adobe, 177 billion, not quite as big as Oracle. Okay, Adobe, 177 billion. They're going to report again Thursday evening. Okay, on Friday. They're not even sure. Everything is, they don't have a moon or a sun, so obviously they're not sure if they're even going to report. All right, so that's it for the calendar. Wednesday night, Oracle. Thursday night, Adobe. All right, so that's it. All right, so I'll take questions in the room. If not, I'm going to render my video and get it out there for podcast land and digital land. Thank you so much. I will see you guys in about 30 minutes.